Well, hi, I'm George and Nick. Hi, everybody. See you coming. What I will do is I will say hello to all because by now there are many, and I will share the screen. But first, I will open that link that we all need right here. Okay, and now I can share the screen. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Here on the chat right here, you can tell us where you're from. Saying hi, but I should be saying hi to everyone. Okay, hi. Well, where are you? No funny way to ask that. Okay. So what we're doing, hi, Jen, and hi, Cheryl. Okay. And that's what we're doing. We're looking at all the new things that happened, and the difference between what we do or what other people do is that we try it. We always download the code and run it. Now, the amazing thing is quite often there are so many new things and new code that I don't always have the time even to try, but I do it the next week. So for those people who are new here, Advances in AI webinar, that is the link. I will give you that link right here, and that should open. Let me try it. Right, and it opens to that same place. So once you open, and I see that you are opening it here, or you can type that. You can look at it and type it. You'll get right here. And what you have here is my name, Mark. In addition, the webinar folder, whatever things we use, whatever things we quote, that's collected in here. So if I open that folder, I will see quite a lot of stuff that we needed at one point or another, but we don't right need it. So I'm closing that. Now, what is that? That's a very important thing because it became more and more interesting and important. I'm opening that link. It is also publicly available right here. Okay. So I'm collecting all the interesting labs and courses. And the amazing thing is that the knowledge is free nowadays. There's not one course where you can pay. Or maybe Coursera will want you to have a subscription. Not sure. But even that won't be much compared to the amount of knowledge and all that you can eat. And that's hundreds and thousands of courses. Now, as you will see, the latest entry that hasn't even been worked through are actually two entries. One of them is from deep learning and it's called Upstage, and it's about pre-training LLM. We'll talk about that. Another one is generative AI for kids, and we'll talk about that. But every other, wow, Natal, Brazil, very nice. Okay. Every other course is here, and by now you see like probably 52. And every course is with that. So it has what it is about, where it is from, and quite often by now, it also has this local install so that if you want to try, you just go to that particular lab in our OpenAI labs. Well, that's only because I'm going through the what you have here. So you have here the learning plan, and by learning plan I mean it's very good to learn it. Often what you learned last week will be serving you a good service today. All right, so it is July 19th. Everybody is welcome to the summer, and these are the news. So these are the news, and then we'll talk about potentially some use cases that I'm working on or something like that, because I always want to show you some practical aspect. Okay, with that, we're ready to start. If you want to chat, you can always do that. Okay, so let me open this chat. You can always do it here. If you want to talk, just tell me. I will turn on the mic for you. But once we got attacked by a loud bot, and so I'm not doing this anymore. All right. So what are the interesting things that happened this week? They are, first, it's the IEEE magazine, of which I get a paper copy and read it at my spare time, but then you can find it online. And what that was talking about is professors. How do they look at AI? Now, initially, professors were scared and terrified, and many schools just blocked it. But obviously, that's not the way. Now, here we're talking about not high school, not something that's like a prison where you keep kids so that they don't run around. We're talking about the professors at Stanford and other such places. And what they're doing is the major point that they're making is that I used to give students a piece of code and I would say, just write the code to do this. I would tell them, here's your task, solve the problem. Well, now it doesn't work because the students tell ChatGPT, hey, no, I have a problem, solve my problem. And in these higher learning institutions, nobody is trying to go after you use ChatGPT. That's because at work, you have to use ChatGPT. You're supposed to use ChatGPT, and the programmer productivity grows at least 2 times if you use ChatGPT. So what they are doing, they say we're changing the approach. We are paying much more attention to structure, to architecture, to testing, okay? Because you know what you need. So it is test-driven development, which some low-style jokers say testosterone-driven development, but it is something that you write. You write a test, and that's the first thing you write. And then maybe ChatGPT writes your code. That's what they say. And one interesting picture was right here. That was private investment in generative AI. And you see how it was going. It was pretty low. 2022 was pretty low. Now, and that's where everyone would like to be. That was an interesting diagram, even though it's not really related to how they think about AI. Just an interesting fact. Okay, now the link is here. You can see, I told you the most important thing. We teach them how to use AI. We teach them that don't trust the solution. The solution just looks reasonable, but maybe is not reasonable. Don't trust its architecture. Look at each approach. And I think the best way to understand this is to use Sam Altman. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he said he uses that as a brainstorming partner. Perfect use, who is stronger in details and weaker in general approach. That is the first thing that I wanted to show. Closing that. The next thing is an interesting article about LLM to exploit vulnerabilities. Now, I should have it on my desktop right here. That is an paper that has just been published, so June 24 from university. And what they do is an LLM, it's another large language model that can not discover vulnerability. That's called 0 days vulnerability. And they go pretty expensive at the black market. Now, what this thing does is it's learning how to exploit it. So once you have the 0-day vulnerability, you need to quickly write code to actually use it. And that's what this thing does. So quite advanced use of AI for hacking. We already saw an interesting paper from Anthropic people, and they show how to hack their own model. And this one shows how you can then make it a production specific, task specific expert. So I'm not going too deep into this, but maybe next time, because I thought that was an interesting, great approach, but I didn't go too deeply in that. That is the second thing that I wanted to show. And the third one is a new course that's coming up, but please note that it's just an announcement right here. And that announcement is, it probably is very hot because they keep changing the start date, and it's not yet. I, of course, registered, and I'll get an announcement, but so far I'm getting the delay announcement. Nevertheless, what it is generative AI for software development. That's exactly it. That's the hottest thing, because you can do better. If you use AI to write your code, you can write better code. Okay, let's see. There are some notes here in the chat. How did they create the expert models? Jim, your question is about that particular one or some other, which expert models? Okay, Jim, which X? Okay, what exactly? Security paper, exactly that one which we're looking at. They do this, they do special kind of prompt engineering and send their request to LLM. That's a very popular approach. Let's go back to that paper. Okay. They do use LLM. They don't create another such thing. They don't create another LLM. They use the existing one. But you can do a lot of work by crafting the what's called prompts, prompt engineering. So exactly how they do it, well, they design task-specific expert agent to resolve that issue. But we had example of that. The example of that came from Khan Academy. So Khan Academy, for those people who are not coming there every day, uh, is this. And Khan Academy is free education for the whole world, and most leads to tutor students who are on the level of high school or before. That's the major thing. But the way it is implemented is ChatGPT inside. The real essence of it comes from the layer of prompts that are working before they send the question to ChatGPT. That layer of prompts, for example, tells never give the student an answer. Help him to come up with an answer. If he needs to write a, let's say, essay, then say, let's make it fun, be informal, but at the same time, help the student, not by writing. Just say, how about if I write the very first phrase and you write the second, and then encourage him and so on. So that is how we build systems, and that's the level that the student then comes to that level processes the result, probably also using ChatGPT, and forms a longer and more detailed prompt. So that's probably how they do it. More details are coming next week. So let's do this. I think it is an interesting thing, and let's say that, but let's say that we will do it in depth. In depth. Okay, and that's our preparation for the next session. That will be next time. And of course, we will take this out and take that back in, and that's how it will work. But now we're right here. So we looked at the security paper. We looked at the announcement of the new course. There are quite a few announcements of new courses, and I have two more. So one more is generative AI for kids, parents, and teachers. Now let's open that. That happens to come from Coursera, so it's not deep learning, but it's by an interesting person. It's Jules White. Okay, and he is a very brilliant teacher, and he is mostly interested in how do you use AI to help teachers, to help, let's say, create a class, how to create a plan of the class. Now, no, I'm really enchanted by his approach. That's not the first course. If we look in here, if we look in the learning path, we will see quite a lot of courses from him here. Vanderbilt University, right? With Y. So 3, and that's number 4. And he does what Andrew Ng does not, and what other technologies do not. He says that's what you need to say to ChatGPT. But yet, scripting. Scripting will come later. But what exactly do you script? So here, the technologist usually just says, oh, that doesn't matter what the question is. That's how you script it. And what Jules does is just the other way around. He says, doesn't matter what the script is and how you do it. Instead, that is what you ask. So that is the set of courses that he did before. And that's the one that just came out. And I'm looking at it now. And what it has is, first of all, how do you talk to ChatGPT? How do you explore it? But that's on the level of really useful hints that are not obvious. And then that's how you would work with kids. So now he follows exactly the idea outlined by Khan Academy, and that is there are 3 people in the room. There is AI, there is the teacher, the parent. So 3, right? AI, kid, the 4, actually 4, and the teacher. Okay, teacher, AI, parent, and the kid. It is 4. And that course takes care of every one of them. How do you do this? Now, in order to investigate it, what you do is this. You open it and you go to the video. Well, I think I need to go to the course. Here, go to the course. Okay. Now, it's a real, if we look at what we need to do, it will be that. But what is special is that I have a coach. You see this coach. That coach is part of Coursera, but it is in beta right now. So not everybody gets it. If you just sign up for Coursera, you probably will not get it. How I got it, I'm not sure. But even my colleagues, they use my login so that they investigate how that works. And that is because you can say, give me a summary, and it will give you a summary. And talks about that sometimes ChatGPT hallucinates, and therefore you need to verify what it says. So teach the kids not to be gullible, and they will explain why and how. That here also gives you practice questions, real life examples. So I think it's an amazing thing. And truth is, I'm also working on a similar thing. I call it AI Tutor, and it's already implemented on Amazon. And I already spoke about that, but practice questions. So let's see. You get practice questions. Now, I wonder if it follows Khan Academy in every detail. So can you give me answers? Khan Academy would not. Certainly, but this thing would, so probably they have a different instruction and a different goal. So I will have more details about that. And the reason I will have more details about that is because this Sunday I'm going to try it. I have a group of kids that a friend of mine collected, and he teaches them, and his idea is to knowledge is power. So give that power to underprivileged people. That's his concern. And here is the course that he's running for free, and I will just do it there. And so I say now it is more in depth, and it is coming. Right? With that, we have come to the last course, which is also very interesting. So we'll go right here. Okay. And what this says is an unusual thing. It says that is how you pre-train an LLM. So when you pre-train an LLM, this is called in the today world, it's not done, and it's called, so I'm starting to write the notes, and I'm saying pre-training. Well, that's exactly what is called base model. In other words, usually you say, I don't want to train an LLM because it's just billions of dollars. So their expectation is not that much. They say, at the very least, it will be $1,000, but probably it will go into tens of thousands of dollars. So be warned about the bill that you might get from Amazon. But they mean exactly what they say. They tell you which exact use cases are there today when you would want to train another LLM. In other words, we're going to create something like a Llama, something like ChatGPT, but on a smaller scale. That's what they promise. And they say the first example that they give is a specific area of law, and then a specific area of medicine. So there are cases where you would want to start from scratch again. Now, I just got a request for that kind of course. The people said, how do you train LLMs? And I said, that's bad practice. Don't do this. It will be too many dollars and too much carbon imprint. And so that's not the best practice. And comes out this course, and makes me change my mind. No, it's not bad practice. It's just that it occurs in specific cases. And okay, and that's what this one is about. Now, I will go to labs that were already localized, and you can run them local. I'll show you some of them, and we'll continue that idea. But that one we didn't download. It's not in our repository yet. So right now you can just get the link from me and start learning. No, go back to this course. Maybe that's current. Well, I'm already enrolled, so I don't see why. Yes, it's there. Okay, these are the guys that are teaching. There is a company behind it. There is a company that supports you building LLMs for a very specific purpose, limited size, limited investment, and they teach you all of the little details. Why? So first of all, why? Why we're being taught that you shouldn't, and really it's not to your advantage to do it. And they find the cases where it is. If so, you need to prepare your data, you need to package, and you need to train it in action. And there is a company behind that. The company is shown here. And the company is called Up stage. So that is now a valid approach in this special case. And I'm closing just what we don't need right now. Okay. And I think you might even see my cat that occupies the office. That's the social movement that we have here. Okay. Now, Cher asked the question, kids, what age group and what age? When we say kids, usually it's terminology that's borrowed from Khan Academy. In the case of Khan Academy, it's fourth grade, and so I think it's from 10. When I say that I will be teaching this Sunday, I'll be teaching an hour or two course based on that, on this generative AI for kids. I mean kids who are able to handle a computer. No, I have a grandson who is 2. His mother is on the phone all the time. And you would not be surprised, he is on the phone. When he steals the phone from the parents, then he looks intelligent. He knows what to do. So I would extend it. I would say as soon as a kid, boy or girl, can handle any kind of a computer, then I like to say I can teach him. But the people who collect, the people who assemble those groups, they take a more specific definition. So for them, it is from 10 and up. Sure. Was that your question? Okay, great. Now I promised something else. I said, okay, we went through all of that. I think all of that is new. That's an amazing speed today. I said that before it used to be you get one course every 2 weeks. No, not here. That's secret information. No. Then it went into one course every week, and now it's about 2 courses every week. So that's maybe even more because these news are essential, they are all interesting, and there's more than 2 in that week. Okay, that is the whole story of what's new. Practice, what are the use cases? So for the use cases, I should go to this Open AI Labs. Let me go there. So first of all, we need to go to the spreadsheet that lists all of them. And in that spreadsheet, you need to scroll to the right. So how do you use it? If the status says done, then that lab has been downloaded locally and committed to our lab, for example, here. Let's go there. And that is Lab 32 diffusion models in our repository. So you can clone the whole repository, and you will see 3 very important files. You will see README, and README has how to run when you're running it the first time, and then how to run every other time. That's the README. Let's look inside of this README. So that's a complete instruction of how you need to set it up. Now I have not run this one. It's here, but I haven't accepted it, not yet. So it's a good thing to try. And then we have an intern, a brilliant lady who has gone through 4 university internship while in high school. So she then gives her stamp of approval as well. And let me go and explain how you would run it, okay? So you need to clone that thing. Let me go to the command line and indeed clone that thing. Okay, I'm there. And where I need to go, the instructions tells me, it says, just go to this lab. So I'll go to the lab. I'm saying CV. I start with 32 and then hit the tab. I need to get the latest, okay? That's great. And then I'm already on the right branch. So give status. Okay, so I'm on Neha branch where I should be because I haven't accepted the, oh, I'm on Mark. Okay, so let's go and check out that. Pulling all the latest changes. And now I can go to 32, which by now should be there. Now that I'm there, I see exactly this, and I'm following the instructions. And every instruction is verified, so you can safely do it. Create a local Python environment, and note that it's very lightweight solution. There you are, it's done. And then you activate that particular environment. That way, we can run all the separate labs, every one of them, in its own environment, and there's no conflict. Install Jupyter because even though I have Jupyter, but it's not maybe installed in that environment. And please note, she uses pip3 and Python 3 because both will work. Python will work and Python 3 will work. But maybe on some systems, all the systems, maybe Python doesn't point to Python 3, the latest, but points to Python 2. And that's why she gives me, she explained the exact precise tool that we need. All right, that's done. Now we need to attach the kernel, even though I suspect that it will work without that, but it doesn't hurt to be very precise. And after that, you can install connect to that kernel. And that also takes half a second. After that, you can start Jupyter Lab. And I prefer Jupyter Lab and not Notebook, and she already started using that. So let's do that. So the lab comes out, and it would probably not run because, yes, we have important, but I probably missed something. Like I missed torch. So let's say I probably missed the instruction itself. Where was I? Yes, I was here, but I would not be surprised if I missed something. Where are the requirements? There. So I did it too early. I should have installed the requirements, and I did not. Somehow I skipped that step. So that is the only time that you get into any problem, skipping a step. All right, now I'm installing the requirements, and everything should work. And then there should be one more instruction, and that is which keys do you need? So in that case, it looks like you don't need any keys, no instructions. But usually we tell you exactly what kind of keys you need, and sometimes you will have to obtain your own. That's the only thing that I cannot obtain keys for everyone. So we'll have to rely on you guys. Whenever you run that, it's up to you, okay? So now it's installing all the packages. After it's done, then everything should work. So I'm closing that. Of course, doesn't work because I just killed it. And I'm right here. And that's in verify the environment. I will still try to run it in the notebook right away. Okay. So I will not verify the environment, but I will start running it. And let's see how it works. This time it imports all the packages. We have imported them. and then you can continue. So there is no big difference between what we do and what the official course does, except that we kind of guarantee that it will run, plus all the data. So if you go to the officially recorded course, that's like watching a movie, but you cannot interfere in how the movie goes. Here you can, and we also uploaded the data. For example, here is the weights, and they are already here. So it's very easy. It's go to the real notebook and say file open. It will show you all the files that are required, and then you will download them and also use them. That's why right here we can get to the real weights. Then we give it a couple functions, and I would assume probably it will do some pictures. That's what I would expect. Let's just wait a little bit. Let's give it a little time and see what it does. But you see, I'm investigating lab that I haven't even run myself. And even though my rule is that demos never work, but these demos seem to work because they are already prepared and run by other people. Now, if you hear my fan, I mean, in the computer fan very loud, that's because it's doing hard work and it's generating something. In this case, I would assume pictures. Well, let it generate. Let's not just wait like that. Let's go back to here and review what we've been talking about. Okay, what we've been talking about is all the new latest things that are here by now, also playing what we will do next time. But we looked at how some smart professors, you will see if you read the article, these are the best of the best professors. They teach coding, preparing their students to the reality of that AI is here, it is here to stay, and that's how you need to teach, not fight with it. And then we had an LLM that will write exploits for you, given that you tell it what kind of vulnerability you just obtained, however you got it. All right, and that we will review in more detail next time. That comes only with the paper, it doesn't come with an example. So maybe we will try to run it and ask it to write some code. Then we'll be looking some more next time at the exact wonderful prompt engineered prompts. I don't know how to call those prompts so that it's clear that they are engineered prompts, but it's what should the child say to the ChatGPT to get the most benefit. And that's unique because most of the courses and examples discuss how he should say, not what he should say. So that was here. Then there is a new course on pre-training LLMs. So it helps you to really redo the same work that ChatGPT has done. But it doesn't make sense. So you limit yourself to a very specific use case, small use case, like special. Oh, they also mentioned special languages. So those languages that not much has been done, and there is not too many people who speak that language. So ChatGPT is not great at that, and other models are not. But you can train your own, and that's what this is for. And finally, I showed the use cases. So we have more and more courses that have been downloaded, committed to our repository out of this, and you can see the progress of that. Okay, and then I showed you an example of how you would run it, how you would install it, how you would run it, and how you will get some results. Let's see, by now it's probably done, and now we can watch what it has actually generated. So that is just generating some Mondrian or Pollock pictures. But it's probably one just to prove the point that yes, you can do it. Then there is more training, context, and now I love paintings, but I'm not a paint myself, so I'm not very much doing those kinds of letters, but other people can. All right, so that's great. Minimum computer specifications in RAM. So I have two answers. My computer, my old computer, it has, where do I see it? It's an Ubuntu, so it should tell me. But it's too much. I know what it is. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I have 6 CPUs. So usually it's enough. It's not even the latest, but there is a law that nothing great comes in hardware. The law of 2 times more every year is broken. So that's good enough. If, however, you want faster training, you should use GPU, and I don't. Some people do. But share, get into the Skype program, and I think you are there. In that case, I'll give you the hardware. You don't have to run it on your own. So if I go into the Skype program, and everybody knows I run it for people who are interested in working on new use cases with me right here. And actually, I do not see you. So what I'm doing is this. I'm going into admin. Okay, that's the application. Okay, and here is oh boy, here is the bit.ly link to the application. So it's not onerous, it's not hard to observe the rules. It tells you everything. That link by itself, you would have to copy and paste it in the browser like that. And it should work. You get the same thing, and you will look at what it is and you will apply. And since you're a good friend, I almost promise you that I will accept you. Okay, that's the second way to get lots of hardware, and we can work it out. I can make it bigger. So was that the question? That's a very interesting question, Al. Take one large son to be a teacher to a small LLM. You know, Al, I think that deserves further exploration. My first attempt was to say, no, AI is not smart enough. But maybe in some cases, there will be, the answer is yes, and that's possible. It's a whole big question. If you want, write an email and we'll discuss how do you mean that? Okay, okay. Very good, guys. It's a pleasure to work with you. I know that you're listening. I didn't allow you to talk, but you can chat. So all of that works wonderfully well. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great weekend and a great year. Goodbye. Thank you, sir. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody.